Good evening. My name is Amy Sayward, and I am very pleased and honored to serve as the moderator for this evening's forum. This forum is co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, and the Rutherford County Office of Information Technology. It is my pleasure to welcome both our audience here at the County Courthouse and our viewers at home to our program. We will hear remarks in this forum from the candidates for General Sessions Judges, Parts 1, 2, and 3. Before introducing the candidates, I would like to outline the procedure for this forum. Each candidate will be asked to make a 1-minute opening statement. When all candidates have completed their opening statement, the first of several questions will be asked. The candidates will respond to each question with a 1-minute answer. Just a reminder to our live audience that we will hold all applause to the end of the program. I will begin by introducing our candidates. They are each seeking election to a position that is very important to the citizens of Rutherford County, and I want to thank them for their gracious acceptance of our invitation to participate in this event. Speaking first today will be our General Sessions Judge Part 1 candidate, Kevin Hodges, with his 1-minute introduction.
I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Kevin Hodges. I am running for General Sessions Judge Part 1. I am having a unique experience that I believe definitely lends to my doing the job better than the current judge that we have. No disrespect to him. However, I do have some ideas to make things better and to streamline some things, and would absolutely love to have your vote.
Our next opening statement will come from General Sessions Judge Part 1 candidate Ben Hall McFarland, Jr.
Or we stand or be seated?
No preference.
Camera will do it either way?
I think so.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm Ben Hall McFarland, Jr. I'm going to use my minute to tell you a little bit about myself. I was born and reared here in Rutherford County. I attended the public schools here, including Murfreesboro Central High School. After I graduated high school, I went to MTSU and graduated. At the time I graduated, I received a commission as a second lieutenant in military intelligence. After graduating, the summer before I started law school, married my college sweetheart, Brenda McFarland, and we're celebrating our 44th wedding anniversary this Friday, and she's behind me, but I appreciate her support all these years. I went to University of Tennessee Law School after graduating from there. I went to the military, I took the bar exam, then I went into the military with the Officers Basic and Military Intelligence, came back, started my law practice. Before I was elected judge, I practiced law 25 years. It was a high-profile trial practice.
Thank you very much. Our next introduction will come from our General Sessions Judge Part 2 candidate, David Lowry.
First of all, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters and the Rutherford County OIT for having us here tonight. I grew up in Lascassas, a small southern rural community. I had a great childhood. I went to school here in the city of Murfreesboro and Central High School as well. Went to UT undergraduate and UT Law School, and upon graduating from law school, I was a second lieutenant in the Transportation Corps of the United States Army, stationed at Fort Eustis, Virginia. Coming back here June the 15th of 73, I started my law practice. Got elected judge in 90, 98, and 2014 or 2016. Appreciate the opportunity to serve in this capacity. I enjoy being a judge. I enjoy being a member of Rutherford County. I'm proud of my community, and I'm proud of our growth that we've had and continue to have growth through the community. Thank you.
Next will be General Session Judge Part 2 candidate Barry Tidwell.
Thank you. My name is Barry Tidwell, and I'm running for General Sessions Court Part 2. My wife, Bippy, and I have been residents here in Rutherford County since 1988, when we both attended MTSU, other than 3 years in the middle of that span. The day after this election, August 8th, will be my 22nd wedding anniversary to Bippy. We have 4 children and 2 grandchildren. We love Rutherford County and are excited about the opportunity to serve the General Sessions Court judge and serve the citizens of Rutherford County. I'm a graduate of MTSU in 1992. I'm also a graduate of the Nashville School of Law, where I worked full-time as I went to law school. At the end of law school, I clerked for the Honorable Cheryl Blackburn in the 20th Judicial District in Davidson County, and in September of 2000 entered into private practice, where I have been for the past almost 14 years. Thank you.
Next will be General Session Judge Part 3 candidate Larry Brandon.
Good evening. I'm Larry Brandon. I'm the General Sessions Judge for Rutherford County Part 3. I am a lifelong resident of Rutherford County, having grown up in the Kittrell community. I started my law practice here in Murfreesboro in 1980 after having graduated from Vanderbilt Undergraduate School and Vanderbilt Law School. Also obtained a master's degree from Middle Tennessee State University in 1993. And I taught at MTSU from 1986 to 2006. I have proven my ability to manage the courtroom over the past 8 years. In our courtroom, we manage about 1,800 civil cases a month. We manage about 50 probate cases a month. We manage about 50 mental health cases per month. I think over the past 8 years, we've proven our ability to do the job. We're just asking the voters to give us 8 more years to do the job again. Thank you.
Thank you. Next will be General Session Judge Part 3 candidate Toby Gilley.
Good evening. My name is Toby Gilley, and I am the Republican candidate for Rutherford County General Sessions Judge Part 3. I would like to start by thanking the League and the Office of IT with the county for putting this forum on tonight, and also thank the citizens who are watching both live and at home for giving their participation in trying to make informed decisions on how to vote in the upcoming election. A little bit about myself. I grew up on a small farm in McMinnville, the son of a factory worker and a bank teller, a first-generation college graduate, attending MTSU, obtaining my bachelor's degree, performing 2 years of graduate studies work in criminal justice before going on to law school at the University of Tennessee, where I obtained my law degree. While at MTSU, I also served as the student body president. My wife, Laurie, and I have 2 children, and we attend the North Boulevard Church of Christ. For the last 17 years, I've been in private practice, handling all types of cases, also serving as a certified mediator, a professor at MTSU, a hearing officer for the county schools.
Thank you very much. Now we'll turn to our first question, which some of you have already touched upon. Tell us about your background and how it prepares you to serve as a judge. We will start this round of questions with General Session Judge Part 1 candidate, Mr. McFarland.
Thank you, ma'am. I practiced law for 25 years before I ran for this office. That private practice was a very active trial practice. I had high-profile cases, jury trials, more than I can remember. Some of them the highest-profile jury trials here. After serving in that capacity as a private attorney for 25 years, I have now been serving as General Sessions Judge for 16 years. Coming up with innovative ideas of ways we can make our community better. One of those was a domestic violence court I started 5 years ago to emphasize the importance of domestic violence in our community. Since I started that 5 years ago, we do 1,200 to 1,500 cases a year. I've handled over 5,000 domestic violence cases. Once again, emphasizes the importance of that in our community.
Thank you. General Session Judge Part 2 candidate, Mr. Lowry.
I've had the pleasure to serve, I guess I've been a lawyer 41 years, and I've been a judge for the last 24 years. We've seen a tremendous growth in the amount of cases, as everybody's alluded to. And not only that, but we've seen a great crowding of the judicial building over here. So we've worked very hard to make these cases move smoother, quicker, and faster through the system. At the same time, be fair and impartial, not only to the defendants, but also to the victims and prosecutors of these cases. We've established a domestic violence court, Judge McFarland has. I work with the drug court program and the DUI court with Judge Bragg and Judge Ast, so that we can provide services to members of the community that need those services. In addition, we provided a court at the jail for 10-day rules of people that are incarcerated to be sure that they have an attorney and be sure what they're charged with. Thank you.
Thank you. General Session Judge Part 2 candidate Barry Tidwell.
Thank you. I've been a trial lawyer my entire career, both in the circuit courts of Tennessee as well as General Sessions courts, almost 14 years now, after serving as a law clerk for a criminal court judge in Davidson County. I've been the principal partner in 2 law firms, and I think that both my trial experience as well as my administrative experience make me highly qualified to be a General Sessions court judge here in Rutherford County. I believe that measured change is the key, especially locally, to making the judicial system both stay ahead of the times as well as to address issues that have been mentioned, such as crowded dockets, as well as a growing, exploding population here in Rutherford County. I would like to see a mental health court established that potentially includes also a veterans court. Some of the other programs have been mentioned, such as a domestic violence court, drug court that specializes in issues. I would like to see those established. Thank you.
Thank you. General Session Judge Part 3 candidate, Mr. Brandon.
I've been a lawyer here from 1980 to 2006, which is 26 years. Taught full-time at MTSU for 20 years. I think probably the most beneficial employment that I've had in terms of being a judge is being a teacher. If you hear cases, your job is to find the facts, apply the law, and produce a just result. And in doing that, you need to be able to explain to people that are winning why they're winning, people that are losing why they're losing, and try to make them comfortable with the result that you produce. And I think I've been able to perfect that skill over the last 8 years. And again, I'm asking for another 8 years to improve. Thank you.
General Session Judge Part 3 candidate Toby Gilly.
For the last 17 years, I have been a part of a law firm that has been ranked the highest level for both ethics and ability by our peers. For the last 14 years, I've served the city of Murfreesboro on the Murfreesboro City Council. 7 years ago, I was certified by our Tennessee State Supreme Court as a Rule 31 mediator. I have heard cases, in teacher termination cases, for the county school board. I also serve as a hearing officer for the Board of Professional Responsibility, which governs the ethics of lawyers in our state. I also teach at MTSU as an adjunct professor, teaching in the College of Business, teaching insurance law and commercial law. As I said in the opening, I am a first-generation college grad, the son of a factory worker and a bank teller. I say that to let you know that I understand folks from all different walks of life. And the biggest compliment that I think that I've had is that the majority of my adversaries that I have cases with on a day-to-day basis have supported me in this endeavor.
Thank you. General Session Judge Part 1 candidate, Mr. Hodges.
I touched on my unique experience earlier. That experience includes 8 years in the Navy on submarines. Caught the law enforcement bug from there, went to work for Smyrna Police Department, where I retired in 2009 as a detective. Put myself through National School of Law while I was a detective, and I have literally worked a bicycle theft in the morning, gone to law school, and worked a murder that night. I've seen it from that angle, the judicial system from that angle. I've also seen it from a brief period that I did with the district attorney's office prosecuting cases as an intern. So I've seen that angle as well. And now as a defense attorney, some of the problems that are associated in our current court system. So there again, got some ideas to make some things streamline and make some things a little bit better. I believe my experience will facilitate that.
Thank you. Our second question is, what do you feel is the main responsibility of a General Sessions judge? For this question, we will lead off with General Session Judge Part 2, David Lowry.
A judge needs to have a lot of different characteristics. I think the number one, to be fair, listen to all sides, and be sure that you know what the issues are and what the person's charged with. Number two, they have to have a knowledge of the law, and I think you have to have knowledge of people. You have to know when people suffer from maybe mental illness or ADD or some type of thing or drug addiction. What causes this type of activity, and what can the court do about it? 3 is you need to be experienced. I think that's probably my strong suit. I think I'm very experienced. I've heard numerous cases. I've served as president of the Tennessee General Sessions Judges Conference in my career. I've also helped start the CASA program in juvenile court, the court-appointed special advocate. So I'm very proud of my activities, what I've done. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Tidwell?
I think the main, first and foremost, responsibility of any judge, General Sessions or otherwise, is to follow the law. Of course, you have to be well versed in the law. Being a trial lawyer for the past 14 years and a law clerk who wrote numerous memorandum as well as orders prior to that, I think gives me the experience to do that. I also think that you have to be a listener. Responsibility certainly is to, at times, judge the facts and decide who is more credible. You have to have a good ear for what's before you. I think those are the good characteristics of a judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Brandon?
Every month in my civil collection court, I hear about 1,800 cases. It's my job in just a few minutes to try to determine what the facts are and to have the resources, either by virtue of computer or other support in the office or by virtue of your education, to figure out what the law is and quickly come up with a just result that makes people understand that the law is interested in a just and fair outcome of their case. It's very easy to rule on their case, but it's very difficult for them to leave knowing and understanding what the result is about and why that result was reached and why that result is fair. Thank you.
Mr. Gilly?
I think first and foremost for any judge, General Sessions or otherwise, is to seek the truth, to embrace the truth, and to rule fairly, and to never legislate from the bench. I'm reminded of the story in 1 Kings of Solomon with the splitting the baby case that we're all familiar with. In that case, King Solomon never meant for the baby to actually be physically divided. He was looking for the truth. Oftentimes we think of judges and mediators as someone who is supposed to divide the pie, so to speak, and leave everyone feeling equal at the end. That's not always the case. Sometimes tough decisions need to be made and need to be explained to people, though, in a way that everyone feels that they are treated with respect and dignity. And as a judge, you're always to be mindful that the courtroom belongs to the taxpayers, and even as a judge, you are their employee.
Thank you. Mr. Hodges?
And this is more for the citizens viewing today. Just to give you an idea, General Sessions Part 1 and 2 are both criminal positions, so they hear and adjudicate misdemeanor crimes. Part 3 is a civil position. With that being said, definitely the responsibility is to apply the law in a fair and impartial manner within constitutional and statutory guidelines, always seeking truth, always seeking justice.
Thank you. Mr. McFarland?
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, obviously, as others have said, it's our job as judge to listen to the facts. After you have impartially listened to the facts, then it is up to you to apply the law to those facts. While you're doing that, it is very important to treat all litigants with respect, treat the lawyers with respect. Everyone in our community has a much better taste of our legal system if you treat them with respect. General Sessions judges hears more cases than all the other courts in the state combined. The experience that our public has 90% of the time comes from the way the General Sessions judges handle it. I have no problem with my record on that, treating people with respect. The bottom line for me on that is that I treat others the way I would like to be treated in their situation. You will never hear me say, in my courtroom, I do this. I always say, in the courtroom where I serve, because that's what I do. I serve the public.
Thank you very much. Our last question is, what makes you the candidate to vote for? A wonderful closing question, and we will start with Mr. Tidwell.
My experiences in life as well as legal experiences form the basis of who I am. My grandmother taught me early on that you have 2 eyes and 2 ears and 1 mouth, and you should use those in that ratio. I believe that I'm the candidate to choose in this race because I have the legal experience, having practiced law for almost 14 years as a trial attorney. I have clerked for a criminal court judge and have learned the inner workings of a court, how to run a docket, how to run administratively what the court has to do on a day-to-day basis. I have never been a judge, and I think that gives me a unique perspective that perhaps those who have sat longer perhaps don't have. And so that's what would make me the candidate to choose in this particular race for General Sessions Part 2. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Brandon.
In the past 8 years, I have been the first judge to manage Part 3. Part 3 is a very efficient, well-managed court. We have good staff and a lot of experience, probably 80 years of total legal experience in the office. As a result of that, our courtroom has been recognized around the state by lawyers and judges as being one of the well-managed courtrooms in the state. We are doing the job, and as far as we're concerned, if you're doing the job and you're doing it well, why should you change? Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gilley.
Thank you. During the last 14 years of my service on the City Council, I have often been referred to by my colleagues on the Council and by citizens as the mediator on the Council because I'm told that I have a unique ability to see both sides of an issue, appreciate the emotions involved, and then look at what needs to be done and make the decisions that need to be made while respecting those who disagree. If elected, I will do the same as your General Sessions Judge, Part 3. General Sessions judges have a very unique opportunity because the majority of individuals who come before them are unrepresented by attorneys, and they have the opportunity to let those people feel that they've had their day in court, that they have been heard, and to do so with respect and dignity and to restore faith in the judicial system and thereby make Rutherford County a much better place to live. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hodges.
Again, I touch on the unique experiences I've had, life and legal. I've seen people at their absolute worst, and I've seen them at their best. I'm able to differentiate those things and bring that to the bench. I absolutely agree that it is the citizens' courtroom, and I'm there just to serve them and to make sure that I'm find things in a fair and impartial manner and let people leave with a good taste in their mouth of our criminal justice system.
Thank you. Mr. McFarland.
One of my favorite personalities of Rutherford County is Commissioner Ed Jordan. Served as commissioner in this court, served as a school board member. He said when you run for public office, what you're doing is you're putting an application before the public. You're giving them your resume. Then they're deciding who they want to hire for that job. So when you're considering the resumes before you for Part 1, you have one candidate basically with 36 months of legal experience, give or take a month or two. He's been practicing approximately 36 months as a lawyer. On the other hand, you have me. I practiced law for 25 years, trying some of the most high-profile cases the county has ever had. I have had 16 years of experience in the position currently. I also started a domestic violence court that has handled over 5,000 domestic violence cases. So I ask you to vote not for me because I asked, but to vote for me because our county needs the experience that I can offer and have been provided in the leadership I have provided.
Thank you. Mr. Lowry.
I am truly blessed to be born in Rutherford County and raised in Rutherford County and to serve in Rutherford County. I think what a wonderful blessing that I get to serve in this wonderful community. I've had a wonderful life. I have a wonderful family and a wonderful family tradition. I've got 17 years as a lawyer. I've got 24 years on top of that as a judge in Rutherford County. So I've got to run on my experience. I've got to run on my knowledge, and I know what I can do, not what I might do, but what I have done. That's what I'm running on. You got to be available in the middle of the night to do a search warrant. You got to be available any time to do a seizure warrant. You have to be available 24 hours a day to serve in this capacity. I'm proud to say I've done that. I'll continue to do that, and I promise you I'll give it all that I have in this position. So I ask the people of Rutherford County to vote for me based on my experience, knowledge, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Once again, on behalf of the League of Women Voters of the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce and Rutherford County, I want to thank all of the candidates here today for their participation. I also want to recognize Brian Robertson, Director of the Rutherford County Office of Information Technology, and Lee Harris, the Communications Manager, for their cooperation in presenting this program on Governmental Channel 19 and making it available on the county website. I want to encourage all Rutherford County citizens to vote. Early voting begins July 18th and runs through August 2nd. Election Day is August 7th. Please exercise this important right, which will determine who represents you on county matters. And I'd like to close with a round of applause for all of our candidates.